he was at about 1 million followers on Instagram, about 1 million monthly listeners on Spotify, you know, and this is when Victory Lap was already out and shit. So if you get 1,000 of those, you're gonna make similar money to what you did taking niggas masters and then going diamond. You know what I'm saying? So
right.
That's where this shit is headed, man.
So I think somebody has to come up with somebody has to come out with a way to make it sound pretty to them. Cause I mean, shit, you telling somebody with all the power to give up some of the power, you know what I mean? And they're not gonna do that. They got the lock on the industry right now. So we have to figure out a way to either take that power or finagle and, you know, kind of game array around it, which is, I guess, what everybody's doing by going independent. Because I don't have to go to a label now to get my shit on TikTok, on whatever. And then if you want to talk about like sync licensing and all that kind of stuff, you can pretty much do all that stuff yourself. Like apply, put your shit in, whatever on
exactly
on like a whole bunch of different sites, really. So I mean, like, I'm not a rapper, I'm a producer, so it's a little different. But I mean, as far as the exposure, and when we go back to United Masters, I really need to see who's really getting an NBA check right now, because I know people that are getting synced and stuff like that, but it wasn't through United. You know, they just plug and stuff like that themselves. I think United talks a lot about what they can do, but I got to see some proof first before I'm really ready to, you know what I mean?
Right. Because like I said, NLE Chopper already kind of had a name, you know what I'm saying? Already kind of was buzzing and bubbling. So it's kind of hard to use him or certain other artists that's already kind of like on that level. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So I can see what you're saying, because
oh no, go ahead.
Yeah, because a lot of dudes, like I said, when I was doing a little video, a lot of dudes was talking about, you know what I'm saying, they barely seeing a couple dollars and been on all of this. You know what I'm saying? You got to wait till you reach $50 just to even pull out anything. You know what I'm saying? Some of this money that you waiting to accumulate is taking 3-5 years. You know what I'm saying? Because you up and coming, you know what I'm saying? And you getting all these little streams from these other little places. And it's crazy because, like I said, I don't even know how much money is per stream. You know what I'm saying? So you got an audience, you got a playlist, but you getting pennies on a stream. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, and then they kind of basically eating off that until you basically get some dough type of little situation. So it's like the power is really in your hands. You got a phone, you got a laptop, all type of other little shit. You know, your own streams is better than what the fuck they can really do for you type little shit.
I mean,
basically.
It's a producer I fuck with. Have you seen Bricks the Man? You know what I'm talking about, bro?
Bricks. His name sound familiar. What song he do?
Man, he done did so many of them, nigga. Like, he get a plaque. He posted stuff getting a platinum plaque on Instagram like every month. Like, he be unveiling a new plaque. Like, this nigga, he was on tour. That nigga's the nigga, right? So he was on live with Busy Works Beats, and he was talking about, you know, like why he stayed independent and how it benefits him versus like his homies that signed. So basically, when he had all the labels hitting him, he called his homies up and was like, yo, bro, like, should I sign this? And they was like, if you need the money right now, like you got a baby mama, you in the hood, sign it. But if not, don't sign that shit. You know what I'm saying? Right? Yeah. So, nigga, he called his other homie. So, like, he called at least 3 people, and they all kind of said the same thing. Like, if you are desperate for cash at this very moment, sign it. But if you can live still the same way, don't sign it. So he stayed independent. And so now he broke it down like this. It's a few things he broke down in this live, right? So he broke down how the deals are structured. So let's say you get a placement with Drake. And let's say the label takes 80% of that, which is probably the accurate number, right? So
before you go a little bit further than that, clarify to the audience, you know what I'm saying? Like, what is a placement? Because they got all that little shit on there, but what is a placement?
True. So
you're right.
So a placement, so for those in the audience that aren't familiar with the music terminology, when we refer to a placement, we are referring to your original created music being used in a profitable situation, such as a major song that is released by a major record label, or even an independent artist who is unsigned but has a major fan base, or they call them synchronization placements, sync placements, where you get it, synced up with a TV or a film of some kind. Your music is playing in that. That's what a placement is. It's something that's going to bring you money because your music is being used in a situation where it's gonna make money forever. You know what I mean?
Okay. So that's what United Masters claim as opportunities. They have opportunities on there. So if you put it there, you know what I'm saying, it can get sent to places or it can be heard, you know what I'm saying, by different companies and things like that.
That's what they say.
Okay, yeah. So that's the
United Masters is
opportunities.
Okay.
Yeah,
opportunities for placements.
Yeah, for placements. Okay.
Right.
Mm-hmm. Shit from. Okay, so now, so the record label owns everything, right? They grab immediately. Mm-hmm. So now, as far as your royalty payments, which is 9 months down the road after the song has been in rotation for a while, right? And we call that back end payments because you get the money after the fact, after the song's been released, after it's been playing out in the world. Okay, so you get your royalty check about a year later. 80% of it is already gone. So if you get a check for, $100,000, right, there's a whole bunch more money out there that the record label already took. Okay. So then what happens is, let's say you're the only person who made this beat for Drake. Mm-hmm. Okay. And the artist is getting, 15 or 20%, which is a lot, by the way. And you're going to get 4% on this record. They call it points, right? Mm-hmm. It's 4 percentage points. The 4% that you get is 4% of the artist's 20%, not the 4% of the 100%. Okay, so the piece that the artist is getting, which is only 20% of the whole record, you get 4% of that. And that's assuming you made the beat by yourself. And a lot of placements, the beats are not made by themselves.
Right.
Okay. A lot of times it's a collab because the meeting of minds, it creates better music in general, right? So if you went half and half with somebody on this beat, 2 people made the beat. Now you're getting 2% out of 20%. It's not a lot of money. So Bricks the Man is independent. So when he gets these types of placements, he gets his full 4% off of that. If you're signed, your label's going to have a cut of that 4% too. So they before you even see it, that you feel so happy to get whatever, because the money is still going to be a large amount. Like you get a Drake placement and you get those type of, percentage splits, you're probably still going to get $100,000 check. But just imagine if you were able to get with Drake and you had that full 4%, or if somebody like him wasn't signed and you got, like I got a placement recently with an unsigned artist and me and the other producer split 25%, but we split 25% of the whole 100. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So I got 12.5% of the whole 100. You know what I'm saying? So, that's why a lot of people stay independent, and Bricks the Man is very big on preaching that. But the point that I'm making is he was able to do this by building relationships in the industry, going to the studio, sweeping the studio up, being an intern, learning how to engineer, learning how to produce. Then he got on tour with Young Thug for 2 years. He was engineering Young Thug shit and producing for him, getting placements, right? He built these relationships, no label. He got out there in the field and made relationships with people. Great example. 91 and I were introduced through the homie PB. Shout out PB, right?
Shout out.
We
shout
early
out
in the
PB,
game.
Man, doing your
all
shit.
It's gonna take. Yeah. That's my guy, So we early in the game. So all it takes is one record of mine to go crazy. And now this man has automatic placements forever. That's relationship building. You know what I'm saying? You bring value to somebody and they bring value to you back. You know what I mean? So
right.
That's how that works. So you can do it without United Masters, man. It can be done.
Yeah. It's basically, it's cake to be made type of little shit. You feel me? So how is basically how is independent labels working this through, you know what I'm saying, and trying to put on as far as, you know what I'm saying, producers and putting a whole production together as producers and artists, you know what I'm saying? How would they be able to get off themselves off the ground without using United Masters? Because United Masters is charging them per artist, right? So they had to charge like what, $50 or something per artist that they put on to their label through United Masters. Is Distro doing the same thing?
Distro gives you an option kind of to do the same thing, but you pay just a bigger lump sum yearly. Like there's like 3 tiers on DistroKid. There's like a basic tier. There's the pro tier where I'm at, and I'm pretty sure Savage is at too, where you get a couple more benefits, playlist options, different random things. But then there's another tier. Oh, and you can release two artists on the tier that I'm on. The other tier, which is like the label tier, you can do, I want to say, up to 7 artists. Correct me if I'm wrong, Sav, but I think it's like 7 artists. Mm-hmm. And that would basically be you running your independent label right there, being able to release my music, another artist's music, another artist's music, another artist's music, and you kind of could run your situation through them if you wanted. And I'm sure you could do that through, the other distribution options, CD Baby. I know they have a tier system as well. So there's options to get around United for sure. You just have to kind of do your research, and you really have to figure out how you want to run it for you, and I guess the other people that you're going to be working with if you're going to be having a label. So you got to consider everything a label does, and then you can kind of figure out what you can do by yourself. You know what I mean?
Right. So me and you kind of damn near almost, kind of looked at the same YouTube videos and kind of pulled out the same little research a bit. So I'm pretty sure you ran across that writer's verse refusal, right?
Yes,
so have you dived into that as far as do distro and all these other CD babies, do they have something similar into theirs as well, or is that just a United Masters thing?
So I'm not sure about CD Baby, which is why I kind of didn't go with them, because there was a lot of stuff aside from their pricing scale that I didn't like and we couldn't find information on about. Mm-hmm. In DistroKid, I actually literally saw it right after I signed up with them. But I want to say they had a whole section actually in their help and their useful like facts section that I was reading about. I'm gonna see if I can try to pull it out real quick. But I think they were just literally put out a couple articles about this in response to that whole situation.
Yeah. That's that. So for a lot of people who not familiar with the whole writer verse refusal, it's basically like you don't have the freedom to make any deals with your music type of little shit. And whatever platform you put your music on, they have the right to either match it, they can get involved, they can damn near block the deal, they can delay the deal. Basically, just like you really can't have a really third-party relationship once you have uploaded that music to that platform type little shit. And a lot of people don't understand that until, you know what I'm saying, they go ahead and try to put their music on other places and they go ahead and get that little notice that somebody else has their rights and things like that. So
I definitely know, like, as far as really like rejecting your stuff like that, I know DistroKid definitely, like I'm reading right now, you can get blocked from certain releases. Like you said, if you say release the same song through CD Baby or whatever, right, and then you try to go and like double release it for whatever reason through DistroKid, that'll get your release blocked. There's little things like if you use a sample for whatever reason and you didn't clarify that it was a sample and that got picked up for whatever reason, I know that could get you blocked. You can get blocked for stealing someone's album artwork. Your release can get blocked for like a lot of little things, but mostly if you follow the rules, we should be pretty straight. At least I'll say I've been pretty straight so far. I've dropped 4 EPs myself last year and 3 others with other people, and we haven't had any problems, but we don't use a lot of samples, and we use our own artwork. So all those things I just named are kind of not issues for us.
Okay. So what are you using personally for digital distribution, publishing, and what else? Yeah. Just distribution and publishing.
So I'm gonna go down all the lists. I think I actually wrote them all down because I saw the questions. I use DistroKid for my distribution. I use BMI to recoup half of my stuff.
What's like the pros and cons? Like, why are you choosing these places over different distributions or publishing sites?
So I picked DistroKid because originally a lot of my friends that were independent were with CD Baby, just happenstance. And they were telling me how much they had to pay. And I want to say they pay per release, which did not work for me because as a producer, I put out a lot of EPs, but a lot of singles too. And I didn't want to play per release. I feel like it was just, say I did, 100 songs in a year, which is easy for me. Like just instrumentals, that's $100. Or actually, no, it's more than $100. I'm sorry. I had to pay 100 times, I'll say. I think it's like $9 per release or something like that. Mm-hmm. So that's a lot of cake. As opposed to just $20 on the first tier of DistroKid, and you can release as much music as you want. When I heard that, I felt like Pac, honestly. Like, I could just work for a whole month, make as much music as I want, and just drop it whenever. And I could just keep doing that. It was like, it just didn't make sense to me to lock myself into every time I release, I got to pay. I don't got the cash like that right now. So that's why I picked DistroKid for distribution over CD Baby and over United Masters as well. There's a whole bunch of other ones too. Ditto was another one I looked into. Had some good options, but didn't really pan out. There's a lot of them. But I went with DistroKid because it was just the most straightforward, easy price scale. Everything's laid out for you. There's a lot of options as far as to when you put your music online, as far as promotion, trying to get yourself on playlists on Spotify. Like just different tools you could use, like to post your shit on Instagram, whatever you want to do with it. So I was like, this is fly. You know, it was more than I expected. I just thought I would be able just to upload and not have to do some more shit myself. So DistroKid came through on that one. And then I went with BMI over ASCAP just because, again, of the pricing scale. I'm trying to keep my overhead really low. And I just didn't want to pay for ASCAP's price, and I saw that BMI was free. So I went with them. That was easy decision on that one. And then I've ran into a couple other ways to get your music out there while I've been doing research, like Song Trader. One of my homies actually on Instagram put me up on that, and that's actually the way to get stuff synced and out there. I've got a couple of placements randomly off of that, and I just started messing with them in November, I want to say.
Hey, question, real quick, my bad. I gotta ask because I was fucking with Song Trader extremely heavy right when they like a little bit after they came out. They came out in like 2016, I think. And I started submitting to them later that year, and I got my first few micro syncs to them. But then I had kind of backed off because they didn't really have a whole gang of hip hop shit. So how's the opportunities on there looking now for hip hop? Did they open it up a little bit?
It's a little bit more, but honestly, I've been seeing like, I don't know how it was before in 2016. I literally just started, but I've seen a lot of just, I'll get emails, oh, it's a up-tempo hip-hop beat or up-tempo pop beat with leaning hip-hop or up-tempo R&B or whatever. Like, so I don't know how it was before, but now they're reaching out and they're saying like, oh, here's this opportunity that it looks good for you because you're in this category of music, or here's this opportunity. I don't know if you looked into it. So they're actually throwing opportunities at me without me having to even go on Song Trader and be like, you know, I want to submit to this list. So it's kind of cool. My homie put me up onto it. I'm super dropping the ball on his name right now. And he was just like, you know, kind of like what you were telling me with starting the TikTok. He's like, yo, you have a lot of music. You should put it in multiple places. And he's like, your music is real cinematic. You could probably get on TV. I never thought about it, and I never really knew what the process was. You know what I mean? So I started talking to more people.
I got opportunity.
That's where I want to stop the both of y'all at right there is the process, because I keep hearing y'all saying that y'all got to put all y'all music on these different platforms. So for all the, you know, young producers out there, you know what I'm saying, these young teenagers and all these other dudes that's, you know, barely getting into this little producing game and everything, you know what I'm saying? Why is that important to always have your music in multiple platforms, getting it out in all these multiple sources and things like that? Explain that importance.
Real quick, just for me as a producer, and I'll let Sav take it as a rapper and a producer. If you have your stuff in multiple places, that's just multiple eyes of exposure. Like, none of us have that Drake level of, oh, I can just drop whenever and people are going to flock to my stuff. So as an independent artist, you got to do a lot of self-promotion. So that's putting it on Instagram. For me, that was making a TikTok. You know, something that Sav put me on to get some more exposure. And then also, you're not going to sell every beat that you make, or at least I'm not, because I made like over 700 beats last year and I didn't even use all of them. I still have them sitting. So it's like, what do you do with them? Okay, well then you can put them in the sync trading or Song Trader and try to get them on TV. You can sell them on BeatStars. Like, you want to make multiple streams of revenue as a producer, at least, because you're not always going to get paid, especially right now in the pandemic, to record. You know, I can record anytime. I can pull up on you. I have all my equipment, but can we do that? Not necessarily. And I also have a new baby, so I'm super locked in. So for me, it was all about making multiple streams of revenue. And I know streaming doesn't pay you shit, like you said earlier. It does not pay you very much. So until you get that kind of buzz where you're like at least super doing numbers, you got to have multiple streams of revenues. And even after, I think, just to make it make sense. You know, if you're trying to be an artist that You don't want to work for somebody else. If you really just want to work for yourself, you don't have to like clock in the morning and then come do your music thing at night, like I'm doing currently right now, trying to grind it out. You got to have multiple streams of revenue. And having those streams of revenue is kind of let me get, take further away from working for the man. So, but that's as a producer. I just need eyes so I can sell my music. But I'll let Savvy take it as an artist.
Yeah, so it's very similar because first off, this is the number one rule in life. If my young high school kids don't know this now, they finna know. Multiple streams of revenue at all times. Even if you only got two. If you got two, that's cool, right? Now, why? Because like you said, music, let's tie it into music specifically. Streaming does not pay a lot. It only pays a lot when you get streamed a lot, right? So I got a great example. I tried to sell beats for like 6 years. Okay. I made more doing pre-orders for my fucking hats.
There you go.
2 months.
Yeah. Savage Apparel.
That's that merch
you know what I'm saying? Go ahead, cop the Savage Apparel.
I see it.
The 2 for $50 sales is out. Get the hat and shirts. Pick them up. You know what I mean?
I made $1,000 in 2 months selling hats. Pre-order though. They haven't even had the hats physically yet. In
shit, we definitely gotta talk about that later.
Yeah, I got you. I'll put you on all the game I got, my brother. In 6 years, I probably made, let's see, let's think about it. I probably made about, $800-900 off beats. You know what I'm saying? 6 years though, you know? So you got to have multiple streams for that reason. You got to understand in business, in music business, music is the loss leader. So a loss leader is like what you lead with that brings in the people. Yeah, so like when you walk in the store, you probably see the cereal on the front. I don't know what their profit margin is on cereal, but they're going to have that sale right there to get you in, and then they're going to make you do what? Go around the whole store. You have to go through produce to get to milk. You have to go through milk to get to sweets. You got to go through sweets to get to regular shit because they're going to make you hit the shit that they actually making money off of second. But they're going to hit you with the cheap shit up front. Music, we give it for free pretty much. We get barely paid shit on it. But then somebody listens to your music enough and they start tapping into your Instagram or your TikTok. Then they start liking you as a person, and then they find out you sell clothes. And then if they like your clothes, they buy your clothes. Or if you do this, they buy that. So multiple streams as an artist, producer too, but artist, excuse me, can do really good with merchandise. Okay.
Yeah.
Sync placement. So when we're talking about getting stuff in TV and film, that's called a sync or synchronization placement. So that shit is a bag, nigga. Like that's a bag, bro. Like because the thing is,
I'm chasing that.
Yeah, you can get your music in there, and it'll be non-exclusive. I mean, sometimes they need exclusive songs, and that's a whole nother thing. But you can get music in there non-exclusive, right? Some music that you already put out yourself on streaming. It'll get into the movie, and it's gonna collect its own royalties every time the movie plays and plays a song in the movie.
Okay.
And then the people that really, really fucking like the song are gonna go find you on streaming, and then they're gonna go run your streams up on your platform too.
Okay, so that's how streaming royalties is working out.
Because you're gonna get separate. It's separate, so you're gonna get the streaming from Spotify and Apple Music and all that. But then your shit get in the movie, that's a whole different set of royalties. And it's usually way more because these movies be millions of dollars in budget, you know?
Right.
You got it, bro.
Yeah. I didn't want to jump in too far, but also, like you said, BMI would do like the recouping on the Spotify side, Apple Music side, whatever. But the other side of things, you want to register with like, who do I go with? Let me just throw out who I go with right now to recoup that kind of stuff, because that's a whole nother type of sync licensing and like fundage that you want to recoup. I wanted to not get too far ahead because people are gonna ask like, well, how do you get that money? So Sav, how did you go about getting your sync licensing paid to you? Who do you use?
Yeah, so I use ASCAP, and I got on ASCAP because really it was the first one I heard of, and so I got on that one. And so what I like about it is ASCAP is kind of more geared towards like songwriters and artists. And then BMI shows a lot of love to producers. So BMI be having like producer camps and shit. ASCAP be having writer camps and shit, right? So, but they both do the same shit. It really don't matter who you pick, you know? To collect additional royalties, because there's so many different types of royalties. So we get our mechanicals through DistroKid, and that's some of our master royalty. And then we have our back end publishing and songwriting and producing royalties from ASCAP and BMI. Then there's additional royalties collected through Sound Exchange.
Yeah, you gotta sign up for Sound Exchange, young kids.
Yeah, so get that. You also need Song Trust, because they're gonna be your music publishing administrator. So they're gonna grab other royalties like from YouTube and a bunch of other different places. And then I found out about another one that I'm finna start looking into called I think it's called Mechanical Licensing Collective, MLC. Or yeah.
Okay.
Let me look at my internet browser. I learned that one off of Clubhouse. This lady who been in publishing business for about 20 years. Yep, Mechanical Licensing Collective. So they help collect some other shit that you might be missing out as far as your mechanical.
So all of this is layers to ownership, right? To make sure you're protecting all of your shit. Okay, so just to make that clarify, we talking about ownership, protect all of your creations at all times. You feel me? Because like I said, I ain't heard a lot of people use none of this. So a lot of people are skipping steps, thinking they supposed to be eating off their music when they're not eating off their music. And these are the reason why. You got to make sure you go through your layers of protection to make sure you can see all this money coming in and protect yourself. And this motherfucker's running off and people biting your beats.
Sorry about that, garage door
and shit. So got to protect yourself at all costs.
Yeah, so there's a whole bunch of different types of royalties. And then speaking of protection, so there's a lot of misinformation that's floating around, but I've been on Clubhouse talking to people that's in the business 25 years, specifically doing publishing, specifically doing X, Y, and Z. And guess what, everybody? You do have to copyright your music after it's released. Yes, you do. Yes, you do.
Yeah.
I'm going to start doing mine because I just found this out like a week or two ago, you know?
Okay.
Because, you know, they always say you own the copyright when you make it, which there's truth to that. But if you want to really, truly protect your shit, you do have to register the songs with copyright.gov.
And what happens if you
don't? Have you looked into... Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
And what happens if you don't? What happens if you just go with, shit, I made it, it's mine? What's the issue?
Yeah, so what the issue is, a bigger artist in the industry, and they do this a lot. I've actually seen it. I saw Famous Dex a couple years ago steal this guy's song. And of course, nothing came out of it. So they'll steal your song. You know, they'll have a producer remake your beat because producers are good at remaking beats. I'm one of them. And not that I remake and steal people's music. Let me clarify that. I do not do that.
All right.
But if somebody paid me to remake a beat, I could do it, right? So,
yeah, I was gonna say that. If somebody paid me a run, I could probably figure it out.
Yeah, you know what I mean? So they'll have somebody remake your beat that you used. Or if they really crazy, they might go get the beat from the producer and go get it exclusive because you didn't get it exclusive. That's a whole, like I said, different topic. And then they just steal your lyrics, put the song out, and you can't really do too much about it. But if you got your shit registered with copyrights and all of that type of stuff, then you'll be able to protect yourself in a court of law.
Okay.
So
yeah, that's really the most important part. You said like the court of law part, because it's really bully ball at that point. If somebody really likes your stuff and you put it out, say like a Drake really wants your music, he could, like you said, go try to get the exclusive wherever you got the music from, hit the YouTube up that you got your song from, pay him the money quicker than you can because he has it or his label will. Then they'll put that song out and his clout will overshine your song. Even if your song has like 10,000 views, whatever, 1 million, Drake gonna get way more. So it's gonna look like it's his song originally anyway. So then you have to, hey, this is mine. I have to prove it, and you have to go to court. And if you have the money for that.
Yeah. So, you know, I originally started producing so that I could have beats and so my boy PB could have beats back when he was rapping, because we saw how kind of difficult it was to navigate through this very vast online world of producers, because there's over 1.5 million online producers as of 2 years ago. So who knows how many we have now, right? So that's why I started. And as I started to learn the business of music along the way, I realized that, you feel me, producing original work is the absolute fucking way to go for so many different reasons, with this being one of them. So,
and speaking of that, right? So, you know, LA And you know, Texas, New York, Florida, all these, Atlanta, these are really big music capitals, right? And you got so many up and coming artists. Everybody's, it's almost like crabs in a bucket, really. You know what I'm saying? So what's the importance, you know what I'm saying, on the group economics and really trying to get everybody to band together instead of all of this, you know what I'm saying, separate competition where people don't want to collab with each other for certain levels or whatever. And we saying, hey, we need to be trying to, you know what I'm saying, protect our own, you know what I'm saying, money. We all trying to gain something. What's the point of all this, you know what I'm saying, competition as far as certain other shit, you know what I'm saying? So what would y'all say about that?
Well, I mean, shit, really, honestly, you brought up Atlanta. I'm actually trying to use the Atlanta model myself. Like, COVID kind of kiboshed that. Mm-hmm. But before COVID, like I said, we got plugged through one of our homies. He's a mutual homie of like literally my best friend. So my whole initiative with working with producers and artists from the city of Compton and like Carson, Linwood, where I'm from, was like, there aren't a lot of us that are shining aside from like the Kendrick, you know, but there's a lot of people putting out music. Mm-hmm. So why are we all putting out music on separate islands when we could adopt that Atlanta model and work with each other and boom off of each other? Okay, boom,
right.
Said. Mm-hmm. He drops a song, we worked on the song together. If it blows, we both get up. Okay, boom. And then now I'm gonna work with people from the city. I'm talking to you now, different things, trying to all make this whole thing pop because we make more noise, I think, collectively than separate. Because like maybe one of us will pop, cool, boom. But then what does that do for everybody else? What does that do for all the people around you? And there's too many people making the same type of music and with the same type of work ethic. I don't understand why we work separate. I really don't.
Yeah, that's a great point you make too. Now, if you think about it like this, from like a business corporate standpoint, actually, no, let's talk about it from a racial standpoint. I'm controversial like that. So, all right, if you think about Black people, we are competitive by nature, right? This type of stuff has been ingrained since slavery, making Black men go in a pit and fight each other to death, right? So now there's a very competitive thing that happens, especially in Los Angeles, when we talk about how gang culture is very important, right? So now when you walk down the street past somebody, you know, there's a stare. You feel me? There's a stare to make sure that you're not on no BS and I'm not on no BS, right? So there's automatic competition within the community. You get what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So with music, everybody feels that it's very competitive because nobody is to be trusted. Humans in general are not trustworthy, but then you add the extra layer of city politics, gang culture, gang politics. So that makes it even less trustworthy. So that's why people don't want to work together. Now here's the flip side. So our caucus counterparts, they own a lot of America's corporations. You know what I mean? Right. So what happens when Timothy gets kicked out of fucking Harvard? Oh, that doesn't matter. My friend Frank owns X, Y, and Z company. Let's get this guy a job. So
exactly.
Relationships. It comes right back down to relationships and ownership. Again, me and 91 work together on something. That shit pops. Now he's still going to do his own thing. He's his own artist. He has his own opportunities that are going to come to him that he's going to go look for and find, and they're going to find him, right? But then now, let's say my song pops, our song pops. Now he has access to placements forever because when we were at the bottom, right, we decided to work together in like a real friendship partnership type of way. And then on top of that, he has his own thing going on too. And then that notoriety from the song we put out, for example, is going to get him more opportunities and give me more opportunities versus everybody competing against each other and blah, blah, blah. And what you see too in LA is a lot of people making the same music, like you said. So
yeah, that's what I was going to say. If y'all making the same sound, how are you? Is that bad for business? Bad for partnership? Is that why people stay away from each other? Because you feel me? They feel like people got similar sound. Is that what the reason is?
If you're not creative, it could be bad for business. But honestly, me and Sav are two really different type of thinking dudes. Like, we'll take a rap beat and we could flip it into like a dance beat. We could flip it into like a dance hall and move like. We're real flexible. So I feel like with flexibility, and we've both been doing it for a while, I don't think that the competition in, oh, you sound like me isn't there because we don't sound like each other, but we make similar styles of music, if that makes sense. You feel me? Mm-hmm. And I feel like when Sav puts something out, I can pull something from it. And he might say the same about me. I'm not sure, but.
You know, bro, we already.
I think it's good though, because you can always pull something from someone similar. You feel me? So like, if they're making something that's hot, I'm not gonna be like, oh, that's not hot. Like, I'm gonna listen to it and be like, oh, this is hard. Like, whoopie whoop, you know?
Has it been easier to make those outside connections? Like you said, you probably work with people that's not from California and things like that. Has it been easier having those outside connections then, you know what I'm saying, than people who are nearby where you can get in the studio and kind of get some hands-on work done?
Honestly, like I worked out this really good model to where I send you the music pretty much almost done as an artist, so you can just hop on it and finish it. So you don't really need to do the back and forth studio thing unless we want to. Mm-hmm. So if you're in another state, like when I was having my baby, actually, I was in the hospital, so I couldn't go record because I was literally locked down. Mm-hmm. But I would send music out to cats in Texas. I would send art out to them for that music. So that's another trap that people should get into. If you're an artist, if you're good at art, I mean, like somebody might say I'm giving away secrets, but fuck it. Like I'm trying to get everybody else on too. Mm-hmm. Make covers. Like I've been making cover art for people and people been buying them shits. Like they hit me up on my Instagram, producer._91 if you go to it. And they buy cover art from me. Like, oh, I had this idea. I'm releasing this single. You know, I'll let you listen to it. What do you come up with? And I've been selling those as well as the music to people in Texas, a couple cats in Tennessee, a couple cats in Florida. Not to mention working with people here at home. Right. So, I mean, honestly, we got the internet. Like you said, we got phones. I got one phone in my hand. I got another phone in my pocket right here. You feel me? Like, mm-hmm. I don't think it's not as close as it used to be unless you want it to be that way. Like you could talk to anybody you want. I'm talking to people in Europe. Like one of my favorite people to talk to and work with music on lives in Toronto. Like we haven't even formally met in person yet, but the vibe is so strong and the music that we make is so good. Like it's just like fuck it. You feel me?
Hell yeah.
Like if you get that vibe with somebody, like I don't really think you have to be like in the same room with them anymore because it's the technology age right now. It would help, and eventually I do want to go to Toronto, most definitely, but like we still getting it.
All right. Yeah. So on the last note right here, we're gonna talk about how do y'all see the future of this going? You know what I'm saying? What do y'all see the music looking like? You know what I'm saying? 10, 20 years down the line, you know what I'm saying? What is it gonna be like? What's the future of producing and getting your music and making this music and the collaborations? What do you guys think the future projects is gonna be looking like? You know what I'm saying, for the upcoming times, man. Because like I said, this technology is moving fast. These platforms is developing out of nowhere. You know, United Masters wasn't a thing, you know what I'm saying, X amount of years ago, and now it's a thing. Now everybody's looking for the quickest and cheapest and then they're the freest way to get on, you know. So what's the future, man? What do y'all think it holds? What it's gonna look like?
I mean, for me, at least, just to keep it quick, I don't want to be selling beats forever. You know, I don't want to be just doing this forever. I want to, once I can build a conglomerate, get people that are fucking with each other and really just trying to push and everybody's on the same level and we're all getting it. And like, I could take my homie out to lunch. He could take me out to lunch. He could take his girl out to lunch. Everybody could take each other out to lunch. We don't got to worry about going on vacation. When that kind of stuff is cool and settled, I want to bring that back to the city. And that's why I'm trying to work with people from where I'm from, because if me and Savage blow, obviously we're going to work with his boy PV. If we're going to work with PB, we're going to work with more people from the city. And it kind of just, it spreads the wealth. And I feel like that's kind of what's missing, because people get their money and they go to the valley, or they'll go out of state, or they'll go to Calabasas. They don't want us there. And we don't really need to be there. We got a whole bunch of places here that we could build up and make just as good if we kept the money.
Right. That's really why I did like how Kendrick did, you know, kind of invest in like the music programs in certain schools, you know what I'm saying? Because, hey, these high school kids is already into it. Why not have that as a program already in high school for them to go ahead and eat? You know what I'm saying? And those is other producing more jobs for, you know, these producers to go ahead and teach, you know what I'm saying? They're already on YouTube giving tutorials, you know what I'm saying? That'd just be additional thing to do, you know what I'm saying, as well, you know what I'm saying? To get these hands-on trades for some of these kids who, you know, inspire to do these things early, you know what I'm saying?
That's definitely a move. I'm trying to definitely be like, I'm a producer now and I executive produce on projects and stuff, but I'm trying to elevate to like an executive producer role, composer role, to where I'm literally just finding the people to put the things together. I'm getting you into the places that you need to be. I'm just doing the final touches on stuff. That's where I want to be eventually. So then I can help make some more business moves, because I'm a businessman now, but I want to be a full-time CEO in the future. I am an artist, but at some point I want to just be an artist and be able to just create when I feel like it. Right now it's time to get that business situation together and try to get the foundation level ready for that. So when I can just sit back and let my money work for me, I can do that comfortably and I don't have to worry about, oh fuck, I gotta sell some songs, I gotta go do a show, I gotta go like, nah. People are doing that out there already. we're back here.
Yeah. And you, Beans, what's the
yeah,
future?
bro. Shit, bro. The future is virtual reality. Virtual reality concerts, and somehow they're gonna figure out how to make. They're gonna because this is the audio industry, so of course we already have a lot of voice technology. But now that Google and Clubhouse and Apple are all collecting our voice data, somebody's gonna figure out a way to make like you be able to produce with your voice or some shit. You know what I'm saying? Like I need the drum to hit on.
That exists actually already.
You said that already happened? See, look.
Not to cut you off, but Instagram, I don't know if they heard me talking about it or whatever. You know how Google does this shit. There's a MIDI controller that you can control with your voice, and you can also control with movement. So it's out there.
See? Now, the virtual reality concert
gyms for y'all motherfuckers.
You feel me? That's gonna happen because of COVID. Like I'm already seeing people doing regular concerts, not regular, but virtual concerts that are highly produced. They go and they rent a space and then they come up with all these crazy graphics. They have a third-party platform where they sell the tickets through and host the show on their cloud services, right? So the next step is just get some goggles to make you feel like you're in an arena again, because it's nothing like being in a concert, you know what I'm saying? So so that's where music is going for sure. And there's a bunch of other places that music is going that we are not going to be able to predict until it start happening, So shit crazy, bro.
Shoot, I'm trying to connect with some of these young up and comer like app developers and stuff, because if we can get on the tip of like an app that can help us do music the way we used to, or do it now for people now, like you said with the virtual reality stuff, if we can have somebody like on the ground level create that app and we just are on the forefront of it as like independent artists, however that could work, that would be hard, because like you said, that's going to be the wave. I don't know what it all would entail. I can figure out a few things, but like I definitely want to get together with somebody that's like on that developing software tip, because that's way over my head. Okay.
Right. I ain't gonna lie. I just seen something on Instagram with this female saying that she just created something where you don't have to worry about like the coding and all of that shit. You can just go ahead and just get your little app straight off the ground type shit. So I gotta dive into that as well.
Yeah. So look, they got no code. Okay. So look, I work in tech recruiting, right? So I've already started. I got a couple of tech ideas that I'm working on.
Okay.
They're side projects for now. Not gonna go crazy with them yet, right? But I'm a tech recruiter. I've already met people. I'm already networked with some people, right? So, nigga, there are definitely no code apps. They have made it to where you don't have to code your own app. I forget. There's a few of them out there now. Like the one he mentioned, there was some other ones too. Pretty much, I understand how to start an idea. And then when you meet with these app developers, basically what you got to do is, because I'm working on some shit. I'm not working on it yet. Let me not say that, because I'm not working on it yet. But I'm going to start working on some shit. And basically the first step for any idea that you want to do technologically, you got to write user stories. A user story is basically, what are the features and functionality? What do you want out of this? Okay, what else can it do? Okay, what else can it do? Okay, what else can it? User stories. You get what I'm saying? You write your user stories out, you give it an app developer, and then you start talking to them about what you're trying to do. They're technical, so they're not going to be able to say anything to you that you actually understand. They're just going to talk back to you in layman's terms, and they're going to code that shit. So it's definitely a great thing to do to start the technology way, because, all right, check it out. Kyle Beats. His name is Kyle Garvin. Bruh's a YouTuber. He went hard on YouTube starting in 2016. He was DMing a lot of people on Instagram selling beats. He started selling beats full time. He started making hella Instagram tutorials. Hella YouTube tutorials, and he blew his YouTube up, right? He said, so now he started a plugin. A lot of producers are doing plugins. He started a plugin. He made $1 million in 4 months.
Dang.
And you know what's crazy to top that off? Because I just heard the producer of the DIY pod, I listen to them too, and they're two producers as well, and they talk about literally the same game we're putting out. They had Eldre on, and y'all know who Eldre is. Homie that made, TikTok boom famous. He's working on an app with some dude that's kind of like the same wave. So it's definitely like a plugin, and the upside on a plugin is how much it costs to make and how much they're charging you for the plugin. You're gonna make money.
Yeah, bro.
Because everybody's paying $200. Hey, So yeah, that's a cool little wave. I wish I'm actually super late on the plugin game. I actually don't even really use plugins for my producing. Really? Yeah, I know. I'm pretty much by ear or like the few ones that Logic comes with, but I haven't actually ever paid for a plugin or anything like that. But
exactly, you play, right?
I do.
Yeah.
That's the upside. I actually am a musician, so I can get around that. But I have been in studios where I've used them, and I understand how much of a wave that is, especially if you're under a time crunch situation. Like I got 3 hours, and this guy wants to hear like 6 beats, and he doesn't like any of the beats I sent him. Those plugins will help me get there a little bit quicker. Using Splice will help me get there a little bit quicker, at least to get you a sound that you can rap to, and I can come back and fuck with it later.
Yeah, so, yeah. That's probably getting placements sometimes too, for real.
That's definitely a thing.
Hey, you know what it's funny, I was just talking to the homegirl Leela, musical genius, and she was saying that she was going to DM you so y'all could do some work. I think that we should all make some sample packs and get them bitches on Splice, man. I think that'd be a way for 3 of us. Cause she played too. She played 12 instruments, bro.
Shit, so got me beat.
And what is Splice?
Splice. Splice is yeah, no, we gonna chop it up because I've been wanting to do that for a minute anyway. So Splice is a open platform where you pay a monthly fee, and then producers upload their sounds. And right when I talked about her, she liked my reel. That's funny. Producers upload their sounds and sound kits and loops to the website, and they get a recurring fee based on how many times the sounds get downloaded. So on the user interface, you pay $8 a month. You can download pretty much infinite amount of sounds, and they're royalty free, so you do not have to pay royalties to the people who made the sounds. Okay,
that's the big important part.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So, and then on the flip side, they get recurring revenue every time their sounds get used. So the hotter the sound, the more it get used, is the more dollars you're gonna get on a recurring basis, aka multiple revenue streams like we've been talking about.
Yeah, no, it as you talk about it more, everything keeps unfolding. There's a lot of opportunities, and I feel like just for us as young people out here getting it, and there's not really like a roadmap as to how we're figuring it out, and we're kind of laying it out for, like you said, the kid that's 12 right now that's hella dope on Fruit Loops, but he don't know what to do besides post them on YouTube.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You know, like for those kids, okay, cool. Now you got a lot of beats. Now what do you do with them? Now they can kind of go and follow the work that you're doing. That merch tip. I was just talking to somebody about that. I was just talking to another artist about that, how he needs to get merch because he has a following, but he's not making money from streams. I'm like, well, bro, you got to put out merch. People fuck with you already. They go and buy your stuff. If it looks dope and they like you, sell merch.
Yeah, bro.
And that was the last thing I wanted to leave out on too, was, you know what I'm saying, these young people who were just starting the music industry and they one-dimensional, and how one-dimensional can really be, you know what I'm saying, detrimental. You know what I'm saying? You definitely just can't rely on you just putting out just one little thing. And like I said, when you got a little buzz, now you like, hey, this is all I do. Hey, you want to create at least something to go with it. You know what I'm saying? Create you a logo, create you some merchandise, some type of little product that you can also put out, you know what I'm saying, to all your consumers as well. Because like I said, like Beans was saying, them beats is going to take a while to start eating off of. So if you just chilling as a producer, like, hey, I'm just trying to get a name off my beats and I ain't got nothing else after that, you know what I'm saying? You're going to have to do something to satisfy, you know what I'm saying, all your listeners and your viewers and shit, you know what I'm saying?
And then look, this is what also happens too when you're a one-trick pony. You get desperate. You get what I'm saying? Like Young Dolph did not sign to I think it was Yo Gotti because he was already rich. So when you offer somebody $250K and they already got millions of dollars, they're laughing at you, right? You know? See, that gives you the power ownership, right? It gives you leverage in your deal. Russ, he put out a bunch of songs. He was like, I'm gonna put out music, hella music, and I'm gonna blow up off this shit. And he did. So then when he signed his partnership with Columbia, it was a 50-50 profit split. And he took his profit split. He did his 3 years at Columbia. Now he back fully independent. But Columbia got him way more famous than he already was getting. So then now this guy has pandemic-proof career. He can't do shows, but he still makes $400,000 a month purely in streaming revenue. Why? Because he owns his music. Then he started putting merch out. He made money off merch. Now he's doing interviews. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, if you just put your best foot forward, go hard at what you do, love your craft, that's always going to be great, and it's going to work out for some people. But at the end of the day, you know, not everybody's going to have that rush career where they just put out a gang of music, and the music is the number one thing. A lot of people are going to put out music, and the music's going to do good, but then they're going to have merch, or they might sell an ebook to show artists how to get started, or to show producers how to get started, or, you know what I'm saying, you might put out a plugin, and so then the plugin shows, you know, the type of sounds you would use when you produce, and they be some hot sounds, and then people love that shit and they use that shit, right? Or, you know, you be the first person to come up with the fucking, I don't know, some unique ass virtual console. Like it's so it don't stop, bro. There's so many ways to get the bag, man.
Do you feel like artists and people have to damn near almost sign to a label before they can go independent, just because they kind of need that assistance, or just to get out there a bit, or that life lesson before they can go ahead and be independent? Because most of these major independent artists, they damn near have signed to a label at some point in time, but they preach independent. Like, but for somebody that's coming from the bottom and just trying to strictly do this independent business and get on a Nipsey Hussle and whoever's level, it seems like it's a bit difficult. You know what I'm saying? Would you think that they need to, because everybody feel like this is popular. Most of the popular artists is signed to labels. So, you know what I'm saying? Betting on yourself is almost like something that people don't want to do. So would you advise it or not?
No,
I advise to bet on yourself, bro. And I'm gonna say why. Because at the end of the day, everything that glitter ain't gold, right? Slim Thug, we didn't hear shit from that nigga after that Still Tipping, right? He's still getting royalty checks to this day. He went viral a few months ago, like sometime last year, because he said I had to look like I was losing to stay winning. Okay, so
fact.
No, you feel me? The reason there's a lot of different reasons people sign deals, and I'm not saying that every deal is absolutely terrible. What I am saying though is that there's so many creative ways to get money. Okay, a good example. I just use people I follow as an example. Dorian Group 82, right? So this dude put out some music. He got, you know, like over 4 million streams on Spotify or whatever. Okay. So, you know, 4 million streams on Spotify by itself is around 16 G's. And who knows how many years it took to get there, right? And that's a good amount of money if you can get 4 million streams every month or some shit, you know what I mean? But for the average independent artist, you got to do something else. So what did he do? He started doing business videos, because business is a strong suit of his. He started offering services to artists to do their Wikipedia pages, to do their cover art, and he built Spotify playlists so people could pay him to get on his Spotify playlist. And he does one-on-one consultations. And if you go look at his website right now, all of his shit is outrageously priced. It's outrageous, but he's making more off of that than he's making off of the music alone, because the music was a loss leader to get him in front of people's eyes. Now, here's the second thing. This dude charted #1 on iTunes. He's not famous, but he charted #1 on iTunes because he brought value to the market. He brought value to the market because that's the type of stuff that's going to keep him independent and not needing the label's money and not needing their resources. Mm-hmm. He fucking offered a permanent Spotify playlist, which he usually charges $250 for, in exchange to buy his album for $9.99 on iTunes to pre-order it. And he ended up making so many record sales that he went #1 on iTunes. Why? Because a permanent Spotify playlist is very valuable to an independent artist. This allowed him to generate like almost $100,000 just in pre-sales and remain independent on top of what his services he has. So the short answer is, do artists need to sign a deal? No. But are most artists business savvy, smart, creative, outside the box, or have people around them that have their best interests? No, unfortunately.
No. Yeah.
Unfortunately not. So, yeah.
Yeah. Shit, I couldn't have said it better myself. I would say, like you said earlier, take the bag if you need it right now, but know what you're signing for, know what that requires, know what you have to do to get that bag, and know that that upfront money is not your money. You're borrowing that shit and you have to pay it back. That's probably the biggest thing I would say about labels. Like, don't get yourself in debt with your first single, trying to, you know, ball out, look like a rapper, look like whatever you think rapping was supposed to look like, and then you get yourself in debt. Now you have to be beholden to these labels. If you don't need the money right now, if you're trying to build your buzz, if you want to have some equity, which is what I'm trying to do, proof of product really is my whole last year before that, is just building up steam. So when I go to make these business deals, whatever, I have equity to show these people. So I can discuss a deal instead of signing with them. It'll be a partnership, like you said. So, you know, I don't think all labels are bad. Like you said, you just gotta know what you're signing for, know what they need from you, and know what you want to get from them. If you're gonna work with a label, and if not, stay independent. Figure it out.
Okay. And even when you're signed to the label, do you get separate performance royalties, like as far as performing versus, you know what I'm saying, putting out these music, these songs for these labels?
You're gonna get the same thing, but it's just gonna be 90% of it taken away from you.
Them 360 deals are a real thing. They say 360, they get everything, anything you're involved in.
Yep, merch.
So if that's merch, if you sell socks and you're a rapper and you sell socks, they get a piece of them socks. If you sell tickets, they get a piece of them tickets. Pretty much anything you touch, if you sign a 360 deal, I'll say, because there are different deals, different partnerships, different levels to everything. It's always caveats. But the most deals that they trying to give people are 360 deals, and they want to own your likeness. They want to own everything that you touch, and they want a piece of everything that you touch, because in their eyes, and in most times, they gave you the money up front to get you out in front of these people. They gave you the money to go to these places and be in places where you normally wouldn't be, is how they put it. So they expect a return on their business investment, which makes sense, but it also is a rape in the same time. It's all about how you word it.
So is there going to be a rise in black ownership, or is these Jews and whites still going to have a strangle over the game? Like, is the tide finally going to turn, or do y'all not see the tide turning, man? You see they still going to have a hold on us? What's happening?
I mean, Jerry Heller is still alive, so he probably still own a lot of Eazy-E shit. But I think for the new artists coming up, we know, at least I'll speak for me and Sav, we know not to sign to a Jerry Heller because of what happened to the other people. We've seen what happened to TLC. We've seen what happened to why Dre left NWA. Like, you know, why Eazy got money, but he didn't get all the money he was supposed to get from Jerry. How Ice Cube got screwed. Like, if you just use that little group right there, you will understand why you should do your research and know who you're signing to and why you're signing to them if you're going to do it. I don't see a reason why right now, especially if they don't have your best interest. And I see a rise in us working with each other, people that look like us, people that have the same experiences as us. I'm not going to say other people couldn't connect, because they do. And we have a lot of people, obviously, that we from Compton, we from LA. We work with Latino people, we work with Asian people and everything like that. I feel like getting away from paying the older, we'll say Caucasian dudes to help us get in the door and trying to work with each other is definitely the new way, I think.
Yeah. Are we gonna start merging into these genres? Like I said, I see you, Beams, you making, you know what I'm saying, all these different genre of beats and all these type of things. So are we gonna start taking over? Or are we gonna start seeing more blacks producing, you know, these pop track, these rock track, these what's that now? It's techno and all these EDM shits, you know what I'm saying? So is that a new wave too? Do you see more of us branching out and we start to take over more genres of this shit too?
Bro, you need to take them back. All that music is essentially our music. Rock music is our music. Country music is our music.
House music is our shit.
Our music. So it's really just a resurgence. You know?
Yeah, bro. Because look, house music, Chicago, niggas. Rap music started where? Niggas. I don't know where rock music started, but it was niggas. Okay, niggas wrote for Elvis Presley.
Bro.
You know what I'm saying?
Chuck Berry in the South.
Yeah, you feel what I'm saying? Like R&B, niggas. You know what I'm saying? Like pop, I don't know the origin, but I done seen a lot of niggas produce some pop.
Popular music, and who's popular?
This is our shit. We just taking it back.
Yeah. It's just I hardly see people collaborate, you know what I'm saying, with those type of artists, you know what I'm saying, those type of pop artists, rock artists, and all these other little things. But I do see them still in our sound, you know what I'm saying, but I hardly see, you know what I'm saying, especially in LA and things like that, you know what I'm saying, how many people really coming up to people who make, you know what I'm saying, you know, alternative music, like, hey, you know what I'm saying, I got some beats for you, boom, boom, we're gonna make a connection, boom, bam, damn near going, you know what I'm saying, come out to one of your little shows, you know what I'm saying, so I can come out and produce the show or whatever, you know what I'm saying. I hardly see those type of connections, so I'm trying to figure out, is we gonna, you know what I'm saying, start putting our hands and our footprints in some of these spaces.
I mean, I think it just depends on you, because honestly, I already have been, like, I went to high school in Torrance, so I already know a lot of people and stuff like that. So, and even before that, like, just moving how I move, like, I've been talking to other people, and I've been, like, we all play Tony Hawk Pro Skater. You listen to some of them songs, and some of them shits was bangers. Like, they were dope. You feel me? So, like, you know what I mean? So, and I play guitar. Personally, I play bass. So I always listen to other type of music, not just funk, not just jazz. I always listen to rock. I always listen to like Parliament Funkadelic, not even just new school rock, old school rock, and shit like that. So when you listen to that kind of stuff, you can just appreciate guitars, not even who's singing it, or just appreciate music. I feel like that's what we're getting back to, and we're using European samples a lot of the time, and now people are starting to go back and, oh, who played that? Oh, well, he was a white dude, but his shit was cool. Like music is, I think, that one thing where if you're a like-minded individual and you're not a dick, we can get along. Like, you know what I mean? We don't gotta look like each other a lot of the time to hear and like the same shit. It's just feeling. It's just transfer of feeling. It's transfer of energy. So, like some of that like punk rock shit look kind of crazy, but XXXTentacion, I rock with that shit. That was my shit. That was my energy. Pop Smoke. Like there's a lot of rave in those two artists that you wouldn't necessarily think of. Oh, that's a black movement, but we do it. NERD with Pharrell. That's a lot of different elements right there put together. But he's a black dude.
Yeah, I mean, even how I got started fucking with the dance shit. So like, all right, before I even get into that, look. So I've been liking other shit like pop and shit like that.
Of course.
Actually, to answer the question, genres are going to start blending more and more and more and more. Okay.
Yes.
So
no genres.
Yeah, there's the genre thing is gonna start phasing out. I guess we're gonna still classify it a certain way, but a lot of shit is already mixed. So I always liked pop and all this other shit, but I never like really sat down and made too much of it. I really was just super focused on the rap shit, but I'll make it sometimes. And so then when Cookie Kawaii was looking for beats and shit, I tapped in and it got me on this dance shit. And I'm like, wow, this shit hot. I'm fucking with this. So, it's gonna be a whole lot of that. Whole lot of that, because we got kind of conditioned based on the media to think that house music and pop music is all like white. And I mean,
right, exactly. Yeah, that's what I was hitting on. Right. Okay.
Yeah.
That's our shit,
especially
man.
If you're out here.
Yeah, this shit is, and that's where it's going, bro. It's returning back to black, bro. Back to black.
I think it's just we getting that equality back, at least in some area of this situation. Is definitely going to be the arts, because you can't stop art. Like, you cannot like me, you cannot like what I look like, but if you don't know who I am and you hear my song and you happen to like it and you happen to buy it, or you happen to hear it in the grocery store, you happen to hear it in the mall or whatever, you're not going to be wondering, oh, I wonder if a black dude made that. I like this song. And then you find out later a black dude made it. Who knows?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But I already got paid off of that, so I don't really care.
Like, wow, that fucking nigga makes some good ass music. God damn. Fucking hate these watermelon eating motherfuckers, but shit, I'll play this shit.
Hey, our culture is top selling, man. They always trying to sell the culture, man. The culture is at the top of the goddamn market, man.
Hey,
bruh.
We say what's cool. Unfortunately, we say what's cool, and we've been saying what's cool for a while, but we haven't really tapped into the power of that is. We've been just listening to them tell us, like you said, rock isn't for us, different things like that, and we just kind of went with it, not knowing that we have the power. We could say, oh, I like this, and it's cool because it is, and that's what we say. So now that we understand that what we say goes, how we move, the culture moves, I think more people are kind of acquiescing to that and like, okay, it's cool to like lo-fi music. It's cool to like you said, house music, techno music. It's cool to be a nerd. It's cool to like anime. It's cool to be all types of other shit. Not everybody's just a gangster. Not everybody is, hard from wherever you're from, whatever street you're from. You know what I mean? Like, it's okay to be more normal now. So I think with that, it becomes more bridging. But don't get it sweet though. People out here in LA not sweet though. Don't get it fucked up.
Right. But that's definitely another episode that I want to get into, man. Is just the substance of, making this music and things like that. And I want to call it, we need to start demanding more from our artists instead of being so one-dimensional, and just being just street and that's all you producing, because your voice carries a message as well, and you keep producing that same message. That's why we got this certain little energy, that's kind of out here, so I salute all artists that's versatile, You know what I'm saying? Be versatile as all possible. You know what I'm saying? Always have, you know what I'm saying, whatever kind of music. You can have your dance music, you can have your gutter music, but also have something with some purpose and substance, you know what I'm saying, as well. Because, you know what I'm saying, we can open up to these different genres. That's how we can get to these different genres and get people to open up so we can do these certain things. But without that, you know what I'm saying, we'll never have nobody do what Lil Wayne did when he came out with that damn rock album back in the day. You know what I'm saying? That little mixtape or whatever, you know what I'm saying, doing that. Prom Queen and all of that.
I wasn't gonna talk about that because that was a really bad version. That shit was nasty gutter, but
Park did it better though.
He probably could do it better now, hopefully. But
definitely. But he was able to go outside that lane when nobody couldn't. You know what I'm saying? We all looking at him weird, but hey, he was able to do it. You know what I'm saying? No other artists, you know what I'm saying, can really go outside of that comfort zone and do something like that and make a full project too. You know what I'm saying? So it's just like, okay, Wayne, I see you. You know what I'm saying? You're trying to get on your Andre 3000 tip real quick. You know what I'm saying? You really trying to open up some doors. And you know what I'm saying? But if we can get more artists like that, you know what I'm saying, we can get, you know what I'm saying, well, you know, Lil Nas X is, you know, a bad example, but dang, you know what I'm saying, we can get people that can come out and do some of these other little genre music and be popular and be the face of different genres, man. But it just takes that creative freedom, you know what I'm saying? And I noticed that in the Hispanic and white pen, they can talk about whatever, man. And it seemed like with our music, it's strictly the same thing, you know what I'm saying? Same thing we kind of talk about in all areas with the Megan Thee Stallions and what the females talking about. And then, you know, you got the trap music and what they talking about. And then all the other stuff is kind of like everybody kind of painting the same little kind of message over and over. And just like, man, if you listen to the other people's music, they got a freedom in their pen. They can talk about almost anything they want. Now, is it going to be the hottest song you want to hear in your car or in the club and all of that? Nah, it ain't, but they got the freedom to do what they want to, you know what I'm saying? Now, I seen J. Cole basically talk about that, and that's kind of like why he made that song, I Let Nas Down, because he like, man, you know, I made this music with no substance, you know what I'm saying, to feed the label, because the label talking about, hey, this is what's trending, this is what I need to do, but hey, I'm trying to put out this other business, you know what I'm saying? This is what I truly want to talk about. So that kind of like, what would they call that? Like, the, you know, it's not a writer's block, but shit, it's kind of like you having kind of like chains. You know what I'm saying?
Shackled, you shackled. You shackled to your deal.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. Yeah, that's true.
Well, you're talking to two artists right now that are definitely trying to do some weird shit, as our fathers would say. Like, I played my dad some of the beats that I'm fucking with right now, and he's like, first of all, he's like, "You made that?" And I was like, "Yeah." He's like, Okay, I can see somebody white singing that. I'm like, okay, cool. I know I made it. But you know, just trying. Both of us are trying to do some different stuff. Like, you know, I don't know Savage's background, but you know, I listen to, like I said, a lot of different music. So I'm just trying to touch all the genres that I appreciate and that I feel like I can really contribute to. I'm gonna try, and that whether that's dancehall, whether that's rap, whether that's R&B, whether that's EDM, rock and roll, like whatever it is. Like, music is music. I can read music, so let's go.
Yeah, I got a background, bro, in drums, so I know how to read drum sheet music. I played drums for like 8 years, and my dad was a funk producer too. So he taught me how to play the drums, and he was a funk producer. So I come from that background, and the nigga was in a rock band too. So I got a little bit.
I gotta meet your pops. For sure.
Going up, man. It's going up.
Yeah, get ready, because that nigga's gonna talk to you until you die and then wake you up again. So love him to death, though. I love him. That's my guy.
Right. Heck yeah, man. Hey, but I appreciate the both of y'all, man, coming on the podcast, man. The East Alondra Podcast, man. The EA Podcast, where we dropping nothing but that game. Y'all need to go ahead and create a tag for your boy, so I ain't got to keep repeating it, so I can just go ahead and hit my button like boom, 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 boom.
Yeah.
And do some tag drops on this mug, man. Y'all go ahead and drop y'all handles before we get out of here, man.
You got it, bro.
So you want to do yours first, Sav?
Yes, I can go. So yeah, man. Appreciate y'all for listening. You feel me? You could catch me on Instagram and TikTok at savage.woods. If you want to fuck with me on Twitter, savage_woods with 2 S's at the end. And I'm on all streaming platforms, man. So tap in, because shit's getting different.
Shoot, now I'll say the same. If you want to tap into my Instagram, which is kind of like the diving board to get into everything else, PRD._91. You can get my Twitter, which is producer_91 as well. And I also have another one which seems to be jumping off a little bit better, which is 91 Hokage. If you're in anime, you know how to spell Hokage, get at me. And yeah, on all streaming platforms as well. I got an album I'm dropping actually at the end of the month, I want to say, or maybe the first. I'll see how I feel. But yeah, we have a lot of stuff coming, but we're going to be back. We're definitely going to be back on the podcast for sure.
Oh, yeah. Definitely got some more hot tracks coming, man. It's going to be more things I'm going to go ahead and post, man. And y'all got the freedom to come on and hop on in, man. Love having y'all,
appreciate that, man.
Yeah, appreciate y'all, man. Y'all stay up. Y'all stay blessed, man.
Bro, you too.
You too. I'll be talking to you sad. We definitely going to chop it up about that stuff, man.
Right.
Yeah, all right, bro, for sure.
Peace, y'all.
Deuces.